Elsa, I asked for junk food. What is this?
They're healthy and they're nutritious.
Gee, Elsa, what are you, my mom?
Well, he seemed like a good child, I hope.
Me? Nope.
Well, at least the apples are symbolic to it, Paul.
Didn't the prompt say something about that?
Yeah.
What's the prompt again? I cannot find that little piece of paper. You know how I lose stuff so easily.
So true.
I think it's in the poem A Poison Tree by William Blake. The narrator uses the garden, the tree, and the apple as metaphors. What do they represent, and what are their relationships with each other, and how do they inform theme? But a 250-word response answering the prompt.
So the poem starts with the narrator getting angry at his friend,
And then the friend gets forgiven.
but then he gets angry at his foe.
But he doesn't tell his foe he's angry, he just gets way angrier.
Back to the prompt. We have to figure out what the theme is first. And if you don't know what a theme is, the theme is what the author believes about text, what he or she is trying to convey about the message. So what do you think the author thinks about this poem?
First of all, we all know what a theme is. And second of all, I think the first stanza is a hint. It says, I was angry with my friend, I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe, I told it not, my wrath did grow. So maybe it means that if you don't tell someone what you're angry about, it'll just grow until someone gets hurt.
Hold up! Why do you think he told his friend?
Well, think about it. If you were mad at your friend, you would probably tell them. And if you didn't, they would probably know you well enough that they would ask you what was wrong.
Yeah, that's probably right.
And you probably wouldn't talk much to your foe anyway, since they're kind of like your mortal enemy, right?
Kind of.
So do you think the author intentionally didn't tell his foe, or...
I'm not sure if the author intentionally didn't tell his foe, but I think that the wrath in the narrative is caused by ignoring his foe, which resulted in the tree and the apple.
Wait, the tree represents the wrath, right? Then what does the apple represent?
I think the apple might be the result of his wrath, or the physical...
How would it be physical, though?
I meant like figuratively, like it represents the physical results of his wrath.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so what's the apple's relationship to the tree?
Well, what is the garden?
I think it symbolizes the process of where his emotions developing inside him.
I think it's his mind.
Yeah, that would be where his emotions are kept. And I guess there would be a tree for each emotion too then.
So out of his mind, we're saying grew the emotions like wrath. And from his wrath came what, though?
A tree.
An apple.
I would say the tree is the process of his wrath, and then the apple is the result of it.
Wait, guys, isn't an apple red? And doesn't red kind of like symbolize anger or like danger?
Not all apples are red, though, discriminating.
Like these!
Whatever, Margaret and Lily.
On that same topic of symbolism, though, we could also say that's like the story in the Bible. The one about Adam and Eve.
Yeah, the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, the Garden of Eden. Anyways, the snake tempts Eve with the apple, and even though God forbade her to eat it, and he's just like, oh yeah, it'll let you tell right from wrong. And when she ate it, God banned her and Adam from the garden.
And the line, I send it with smiles and soft deceitful wiles from the poem to represent how the snake lies. And also, it's like the snake uses his wiles to trick Eve. It's like sort of narrator's trying to hide his emotions with deceitful wiles.
Just to recount, the definition of wiles is like tricks and lies, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So all this could add up to the apple being the consequences because it caused them to get kicked out.
Yeah, look at the last stanza. In morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree.
So the foe ate the apple and suffered the consequences.
Yeah, he died.
You sure? I thought he was harmed in like a metaphorical sense.
Well, regardless, he was harmed.
The foe laid outstretched beneath the tree, which kind of infers that the foe is dead.
So now that we've agreed mostly, I think we can decide what the theme is.
Well, I think it's if you don't tell someone when you're upset, the situation will escalate until someone gets hurt.
And the apple is considered as poisonous because of the negative outcomes. Even the words in the poem have mostly negative connotations.
That was a great discussion. Now I kind of want an apple.
True, but first, just to conclude, we said the garden represents the mind, since that's where the narrator's emotions are kept. And the tree represents his wrath, and the apple is the consequences of that wrath. And we decide on the theme.
Yep. So the tree grows in the garden, and the apple grows on the tree. So they all tie in together. At the end, the foe gets hurt.
Now, who wants an apple?
Like these.
Oh, no.